Hey kids, do you like violence? Today we will learn why power scaling sucks. No offense to the crappy, useless, nonsensical sites like VSDebates. Let us start with the basics. Shall we or shall we not? This is a universe. I know it looks like a circle, but trust me, it's a universe. Humans believe it started with the Big Bang and will die in the Big Rip. Just like you. What is the Big Rip? I hear you not asking. Dark energy is accelerating the expansion of the universe, kind of like stretching a gum bubble, but not at all. Eventually the bubble bursts and space itself will be torn apart. Atom by atom. The universe usually spans infinitely in all directions. This is why the circle is just a metaphor. The word universe comes from the word uni, which means one, and versus, which means turn, probably as a reference to the cycle of nothingness and existence. Like the god Shiva who destroys the universe with a dance so cringe that existence itself fails to handle it, just for everything to be brought back. Nah. A universe may be everything, but imagine multiple everythings that each spans infinitely, kind of like the pages of a book laid on top of each other, but not at all. Imagine watching a movie, then another, then you stop wasting your time and go outside to graze or climb trees or whatever humans do when not watching movies. In the first movie, Earth gets destroyed. In the second, Earth is fine, even though it takes place in the future. The worlds of both movies exist simultaneously, but they do not share the same universe. But now we need a new everything that encompasses the many everythings. All those universes exist in what we call the multiverse, which means multiple universes. They are separated from one another, probably by some kind of foam. This is why you can also refer to parallel universes as parallel dimensions. In that case, the multiverse is now called a universe, and the universes in it are simply referred to as different dimensions. Wanna kill your grandma? What if Little Red Riding Hood had a time machine and went back in time to spare her granny from being devoured by killing her before she could meet the wolf? And say Little Red Riding Hood had not updated her time machine, so an error happens and she is sent to far in the past. And say Riding Hood terminates her grandma before she could meet Little Red Riding Hood's grandpa. So now Little Red Riding Hood ends up never being born on the first place. Does she get erased from time? No. Does somebody know why? That's right, because if she was erased from time, she would never be able to terminate her grandma to begin with. Does anyone know how to solve this paradox? That's right. A new timeline is created in which Little Red Riding Hood never existed, but Little Red Riding Hood from the original timeline is still there. Her universe may be erased or it could still exist. This is how parallel dimensions or universes are created. You can also call them parallel timelines. Does anyone know what that has to do with anything? No? Okay. Now we have the omniverse, which means all universes. This is a universe that contains every world in existence, and it is essentially a multiverse. To the left I have the Marvel world. To my right I have the Star vs the Forces of Evil world. They are similar, just in one of them universes are called dimensions, and the multiverse is called a universe. Does anyone know what that means? It means that what one world calls the omniverse is referred to as a multiverse in another. Do you start to see why scaling characters can be confusing? And he haven't even gotten into space turtles. And creator can make whatever cosmology they want to. There may not even be a universe. The universe could be on top of a giant turtle floating through space. The turtle could be the universe. Not everyone is going to follow the cosmology structure you see in Marvel or DC, but it seems like people just assume everyone does. The turtle could even have yams still on the turtle. A whole bunch of elephants on its back that hold the universe. It could be a naked bodybuilder who holds Earth on his shoulders like the Greeks had, or different multiverses could be pewed out by the giant space turtle. Timelines, dimensions, universes, realms inside multiverses, inside omniverses. In Heir to the Stars there are even multiverses referred to as omniverses. and this entire thing can also be called the universe. This is all that we have in today's cosmology lesson. Let us move away from omniverses for now. In power scaling, it is believed that if you destroy an omniverse, you are stronger than someone who destroyed a universe, but that is not necessarily the case. Multiple infinities are not bigger than one infinity, they are equal in size, which is infinite. By destroying a multiverse, you may show that your powers work across all dimensions simultaneously, but this is more about reach rather than raw power. You could also demonstrate that your power is strong enough to break the boundaries between universes, but this is only impressive if the boundaries are established to be particularly strong, and it only works if there are other universes in that world. Now on to dimensional power scaling. There is a difference between space dimensions, like length or width, and parallel dimensions, as in other universes. To my right you see a dimension, to my left you see space dimensions. 1D, 2D, 3D, hamster. People are under the impression that if someone is of a higher dimension then they are stronger. This is not correct. You are probably a 3D creature, so you should be able to easily defeat a two-dimensional being. Right? Right. You could not even perceive a two-dimensional object, let alone harm it. Your most powerful weapons would be useless against it. A hydrogen bomb. You could split the atom, but the atom is 3-2. Even a flat picture is. It has depth to it. It could be a single pixel deep, but if there was no depth you would not be able to see it. It would not even exist, not in the third dimension. Now if that two-dimensional being had omnipotent power, you would be in grave danger. So dimensions is a space scale, not a power scale. That's all, folks. What if Little Red Riding Hood had a time machine and went back in time to spare her granny from being devoured by killing her before she could meet the wolf? And say Little Red Riding Hood had not updated her time machine, so an error happens and she is sent to far in the past. And say Riding Hood terminates her grandma before she could meet Little Red Riding Hood's grandpa. So now Little Red Riding Hood ends up never being born on the first place. Does she get erased from time? No. Does somebody know why? That's right,